Somebody asked me a very interesting question recently, and it made me really reflect on where I was at for just 3 short years ago. And they said, if you could have 20 minutes with the 21-year-old version of you, what conversation would you have? A lot of times it'd be put in more work, do more things, take more action, but I actually want to say something that's going to help all of you motherfuckers. So within the next 10 minutes, probably, however long I can talk for, you're going to find out the exact things that I would change if I could go back to me 3 years ago, before I even began understanding what making money online was, becoming a modern day handshaker was, understanding high ticket sales. So what I would say, first of all, is that my job, I would tell myself that your job is an illusion to you, it's a honey trap. Like, you think that you make good money, but you understand that you're trading your time for money. And your time is worth so much more than any money could ever warrant. Even if you were making 100 grand a month, your time is worth so much more than that. Even if you were making $1 million a month, your time is worth so much more than that. Because every time that you trade 1 hour for 10, 15, 20, 30 pounds, $30, you're ultimately valuing your life at $30 per hour. So then when you get to bed on a night and you reflect on the day, it doesn't seem that bad until you're 50, 60, 70 years old, having a fucking midlife or near to end life crisis because you haven't made the most out of the moments that count. And it doesn't seem like a lot, because as young people we genuinely think that we have a lot of time and we're happy to sacrifice time after time after time after time. But what we don't realize is that if we use the decision-making framework of, if I died today, would I be happy with what I've done? If the answer to that question is no, then you have to understand, what is it that you're trading your time for? Is it for the false perception of comfort? Yeah, because Marcus Aurelius says this amazing quote, and this is probably one of the things that transitioned my life for me, is like, the man who thinks that he has time is ignorant to the fact that time does not exist. Because the only time that we have is now. But you're probably already thinking like, oh fuck, this is going to end in a certain way. Like, no, it's not. There's nothing that I want you to do off the back of this video. But what I do want you to understand is that if you think that you have time, that is a cycle and that is a trap. That is a cycle of delaying. But then also, if today was the last day that you lived on this planet and you had to face those last seconds of your life, knowing that you didn't put in the work, the effort, the actions, the risk, would you leave this planet like a happy person? Or would you leave this planet with a level of dissatisfaction? Because when I started to really contemplate my own morality, damn, it's getting actually pretty fucking deep, but like, when I used to contemplate my own death, my own lifespan, and realize that one day I was gonna die, I realized that actually, like, there is no risk that isn't worth taking. Because when I look back on that moment, am I gonna be more mad at the risks that I didn't take, or am I gonna be more mad at the risks that I did take? And so I used to sit there at work, and CEO, big fucking baller, came into work in a Lamborghini, big fucking Rolex on, like, probably 50-year-old man, like, juiced up on TRT, looked fucking sick, basically, and I was super jealous. And I used to watch him walk past my desk, and I would just mad dog him, and I would just follow his body the whole way through, like, with my eyes, and I'd just watch him just talk and just think, you mug. Why am I working for you? Why am I trading my time for 50 grand a year? Why am I working 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week in the office, even at home sometimes, for fucking 50 grand a year? I was like, nah, if he can do it, then I can. So that was one big realization for me, was realizing that time is the only resource in life that we will not get back. And everybody says this at a surface level, but the reason why that is because you, motherfucker, you're gonna die one day. And whether you like it or not, you have to accept that, and accept whether you wanna die with even a slight chance of regret for the risks that you didn't take, or you can choose whether you're gonna die living a life of like, fuck, I can't believe I took all of the risk and all of the steps. Because I'm only 24 years old, right? And today is Friday, I think it's about 9:47 a.m. in the morning. And actually I want to see if that's right. Oh, it's 9:57, never mind. And I'm in Sicily, just having a walk with my girl, relaxing. Thought I'd make a video explaining that, the conversation that I'd have with myself. Because when you have to miss out on day after day, birthday after birthday, event after event because you're working, or you can't do something on a Sunday, you can't go on like a late night drive with your boys on a Sunday because you're working. Or if you can, then you have to wake up feeling like shit. Like, I literally wake up with no fucking alarm these days, right? Because I don't have to. I realized that and I thought, you know what? I would actually rather sleep with no alarm, and I would rather just wake up when I want to wake up. And it's these small little luxuries that a lot of people don't realize that they're robbed of when they're in this corporate fucking flywheel. You're robbed of like doing whatever you want whenever you want to do it. If you want to have lunch at 3 p.m, then you're robbed of that. If you want to wake up one day at 11 a.m. because you're feeling like, fuck it, I just want to sleep for longer, you can't do that. If you want to just take a trip to a different country on a fucking Thursday evening out of the blue, you can't do that. And when I started to see all of these motherfuckers online printing money from the sky, traveling to different country after country after country, I knew that I had been lied to this entire time. I knew that there was a version of me out there who was making the money online. And so I had to shift how I viewed my money. Because how I viewed my money, this was one big problem. How I viewed it was that it was attached to my time. So let's say that somebody said, Jack, invest, I don't know, 10 grand into this program. I'd be like, if I could have earned 500 bucks a month, that would be 20 months of my life gone by investing 10 grand. But that was not the way I needed to see it. The way that I needed to see it was that the money would always come back to me. And when you work for yourself, especially on like a performance basis, like commission basis or performance basis, you always make that money back. So when you have that shift and you're just like, I will fucking make it back, like that's where everything starts to change. One last big point that I would like to make is that the biggest thing that I would say to myself is that look to where you want to go. Okay, if you're similar to me and you wanted to be successful, and you probably do if you got this far in the video, and you understand that there is a desire, an emotion, a feeling, and an outcome that you're looking for, and then you understand where you are. There's a fucking gap in between that, mate. Yeah, there's a fucking big gap. And so how can you, on the other side of the fear of the uncertainty that you face, like everything is on the other side of that. Everything is on the other side of that fear. Everything is on the other side of the other step. So work out whatever it is that you're not doing, remove that roadblock or step over the roadblock and actually take the step to better yourself and to do what you need to do. That feeling that you experienced on the other side of that, the same feeling that is providing for your mum, clearing her debt off, providing for your dad, taking your girl with you wherever you want to go. You can have that feeling now. You just have to live in the future moment. Now, if you want to get like deep and fucking spiritual about it, like the aspect of it is that when you put yourself in a future moment, your brain can't tell the difference between what's going on inside of the brain and what happens externally in the world. So what you can do is you can create a world inside of your brain and you can create images and moments to live in so that there's memories that have existed in the future that haven't existed in reality that go into the past so that you can replicate these moments and you begin to actually feel these moments in real fucking time. And like, even if it's not, manifestation isn't true, just fucking try it, at least like right now, whilst you're watching the video, fucking pause it and just really visualize like you giving your mum fucking 20 grand cash and just see if that brings an emotion up for you. There's absolutely no harm in doing that at all. What I will say though is, even if you're in the fucking trenches right now and you feel that there's absolutely nothing you can do, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the money, you don't know where to start, I used to tell myself the exact same thing. And what I would say now is that there's always somebody with less who has done more. So go and fucking push for the more that you can achieve. What I've actually done as well is I've added a video that you can click on either here or in the description that you can go to that's going to describe how I actually bridged from the problems that I'm facing to now the result that I've got, which like I mentioned before is scaling my business to over $50,000 a month, on the way to 100,000, on the way to 250,000, paid my mum £10,000 for her birthday, take my girl around the world with me wherever I want to go, and I can literally just do whatever the fuck I want to do whenever I want to do it. It's definitely not the end, this is literally we're just getting started. So I added a video in there, you can go and watch this video and it will help you understand that there is a bridge across to something new. One more thing before you go is that if you look at what you're experiencing in your day-to-day life is a level of dissatisfaction with either who you are, the money that you make, the time that you have or the freedom that you have, then the only thing that you actually need to do is change. And change is nowhere near as big as people make it out to be, I promise you. It can literally be as easy as you want it to be, but the choice is yours, okay? So, appreciate you watching it, and if this has been helpful, then you can also subscribe. If you want to find out more, then you can click the fucking video, or if you just want to chat to me, then you can drop me a DM on Instagram.
Ciao.